the way that I want it
Drawing
to.
along with Pub Draw episode 2. And we're going to see how that goes.
On top of, it's awesome. Of course, all Wacom tablets and displays work with any computers, like a Mac or a PC.
I'm going to say right now that while I do have my sound on so you can hear what's going on, if you're just watching my stream, if you're watching this after the fact, it might be better to try and sync up the sound somewhat with PubDraw and do more of a watch them, listen to them, and because I'm not going to be talking very much, but it's up to you. So hearts, and hopefully it will go well.
Desktop or a laptop, pretty much whatever you got. You can learn more and check out Wacom's pen tablet and displays at critworld.com/Wacom, or you can go on Amazon and search Wacom. It's pretty great.
I have like tons of their products at home.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Wacom, for supporting the show and sponsoring us. This is so great. And speaking of, last week we told you how you could submit your drawings for a chance to win one of these new Wacom Cintiq 16s, and we have chosen a winner.
We do. We have one. We got so many great submissions, and like this isn't necessarily the best drawn one. I just went with my heart.
Yeah, it's because
That's
everyone
stuck weird.
was so amazing.
Gosh,
and
pencil.
It's hard because it's a learning show, so it's like
a learning show.
We can't just be like, this one's truly the best because it would be so cruel.
Yeah.
So I went with like which one like moved me the most.
Yes, and you can tell that she followed along with us. It's super awesome. Congratulations to our winner, Megan Salazar at Kimbermay. Let's take a look at what you drew.
Oh, that's very pretty.
And it, like even at the top it got cut off, but she had these little circles
The
where she was
circles.
practicing the circles. So I just thought that was really sweet, and I love that
That
she
is
had
very
the
cute.
Scary Terry and the drawings
It's a little side by side, and you can see the progress.
And this sketchbook's really neat because of the grid. You can definitely keep an eye on how your straight lines go and
Balance,
stuff. So
yeah.
it's a good idea if you guys
It's very
are really
jealous. I'm
wanna
very
be super
jealous.
thorough about that. You can check one of those out.
It's cool. Anyway, congratulations.
hey.
Stay tuned for later on in the episode where we will be doing another giveaway in chat of one of the new Wacom Intuos, and we will be telling you how to submit your drawings for a chance to win your very own Intuos Pro. But with all of that being said,
Yes.
it's time to get drawing.
Yes, let's do
I'm
it.
so excited. So I did go home, did a little bit of homework. I was working on Keyleth's antlers today, trying to finish them.
Cute.
I wanted to do more flowers and stuff, but I ran out of time. But I did go and I practiced at home.
I love that. And everyone, I saw a lot of people were practicing out. And that's like what you gotta do. Oh, maybe I
keep
could
it
flip
going.
that over. Oh, well,
With
that's
that?
fine. Nothing there.
Flip it a different way. Anyway, yeah.
It
So
looks
this
great.
was Kiki from last week, which you all remember.
Yes.
Still so many good Kikis.
Oh, that's
And
what.
this week you said we are going to be learning how to start turning Scary Terry.
Yeah, we're gonna rotate Scary Terry around. So if you guys
Oh,
can make
hey,
my
a grid
screen
now.
big, I can show you guys kind of what we're gonna do today.
And to
Yeah.
Danny's point,
Oh yeah.
we shouldn't be mean
We should
to
be so
poor
mean.
Terry.
We shouldn't be mean to Terry.
He's our friend.
I might need this to go bigger, but
So
We're just gonna go straight Terry now.
it's just Terry.
just Terry.
You know,
Terry, our
they're
helpful
great to
drawing
us.
friend.
helpful drawing friend Terry.
So
And be nicer about this.
Yeah.
It's not right to call Terry scary.
and when you rotate him, which is what I'm going to teach you guys today, he's a
Oh
little
my.
less scary.
Yeah.
I think he's still scary
Kind
as
of
shit.
cute here.
Yeah, right.
No.
So I'm gonna show you guys, if you take what these elements that I taught you guys to do and you just turn that circle that is his head and move this line over and around, you can rotate that face, which I know it might seem like really scary and
Well, that's what we're doing
not
today,
like Terry.
apparently.
and not like Terry. But you guys, I think you guys can do it, and I think it's important to start thinking about the drawing in the face like on a level of like volume.
Yeah,
and
instead
not
of
just
plain.
flat. So, you know, I think right now we're just practicing, and no one should feel like you should be whipping out something perfect or whatever right now. We're just learning the basics.
Yeah, I like that theory though. It's kind of like when I used to do martial arts and dance, you always want to practice your left and your right, even if you're if you're right-handed.
Yeah.
You always want to practice the other stuff just to start getting better all around.
Yeah, you want to be well-rounded.
Yes.
And
Literally.
and
Like
I want you guys to be able to rotate this and keep in like the sketchy loose place before we tighten it up and put ink and you know, pen on this and learn that kind of
Make
thing.
like a commitment.
Well,
on
I'm
it.
excited.
Yeah, so,
I don't
like,
know about the
this
rest of
is-
y'all.
Getting serious.
This is today, and then I thought we could also, I haven't gotten anything sketched for it yet, but I thought we could also go over like features a little bit. Like we'll go in and I'll break down some eye shapes and lips and mouth and kind of do's
We've got
and
wine,
don'ts.
by the way, so.
Because I saw a lot of people connecting, you know, the lips, which never helps them look very natural. So we'll just kind of go over that a little bit and kind of like
I'm glad that I
maybe
don't.
zooming in on this eyeball and showing you guys more about like where your eyelids kind of sit on top of that circle,
Yeah.
you know, and what that looks like. You know, the iris like does all kinds of weird stuff, and I'll kind of break that down too. So hopefully that'll help you
Can just
also
go to gray.
begin to start thinking in the 3D.
Think in the 3D.
And then even for next week when we have Laura here, I might even start her out with her own Terry, and then just jump into straight like tiefling shit.
Right, because that's going to be totally different features.
Yeah,
And
I think the eyes and the ears and then horns. We can go over how you can like pick any type of horn out for your tiefling, and that can be part of their personality and story or whatever.
Math.
yeah.
And I think what I want to start jumping into that one is kind of like taking this head we learned and learning about proportions. So I just queued up last
Oh,
week, which I didn't get a
proportions.
chance to show you guys, but
There's a lot
have,
going on.
like,
See,
bow
drawing
here,
hasn't
but,
started
it's
yet.
about taking the head
We're like
shape that
20
we
minutes
are so
in.
familiar with, and showing that average human is like about seven heads stacked. Maybe a grog is about 9 or 8 heads stacked.
And what's interesting is Knott's head is the same size.
Same size.
Over here. It
Little
doesn't
different
change.
proportions.
Right, a little shorter.
Yeah,
A little
but,
circular. But pretty much you're just switching.
Yeah. So like her proportions would go more like 4.5 heads tall.
Yeah.
And it's fantasy, so you could make it 5 or 3 or whatever. I'm just kind of giving you guys like a rule of thumb to start with.
That's so cool.
So yeah, we'll go over that, and then also this stick figure is like, everyone's like, oh, I only know how to draw a stick figure. Well, that's all you need
That's
at
the
first.
start.
Yeah, that's what this is like very close to what I draw when I'm like figuring out a pose I'm not like super familiar with. And then I'll do this like kind of tube thing on top, and then you know,
A series of tubes.
the lines, yeah. So cylinders,
internet.
shapes, yeah.
People are like the internet.
Veins, things, all that good stuff. But that's next week. So that's a little taste for you guys. But this head rotation thing is what we're going to tackle today. And maybe some features and stuff.
Okay.
I thought we'd go over... we're just going to sketch out some noses and eyes and ears and stuff. Or noses and eyes and mouths right now.
Starting there.
Starting
Okay.
there. So, why don't you draw kind of a mouth that I've already taught you, or you think I've already taught you?
Okay, a mouth that you think you've already taught me. Let's see. Let's do a little. Let's get the warm up. Let's get going a little bit.
You don't even need to do the whole face if you. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
Little warming up.
And I forgot to mention this last week, but I think you want to rotate, kind of the rotation that your wrist naturally makes. Just keep it
When you're
real
doing that.
loosey-goosey, yeah. Some people had tight, small ones, but I think the point of this is to loosen you up. So just kind of follow your, like, natural movement of your wrist. We'll just warm that up.
I mean, it's stretching. It's straight up a warm up.
Yeah. And then, I don't need that, so I'm going to delete that. We're going to go over mouths.
So let's see. There was this little line that we kind of start with.
Yeah,
I'm doing a bigger mouth.
So what you'll want to do is start with the middle, like where your mouth kind of opens and parts and stuff. That's going to be your center point.
Yeah, there's like this little kind of thick.
I'll do it big.
It's like
kind of a little soft M shape, I think is the safe way to do it. And then you want to do like a top lip and like a bottom lip. And then you guys can even shade that in.
It was definitely going. I have less of an M shape, but more like a soft hill.
That's fine.
Like a little mound.
Yeah. Some of mine are like that too. Lips come in all shapes and sizes, so it's really up to you guys. I think what I want you guys to try to avoid is connecting them, because that's when it starts to look like a little bit flat and weirder. And what am I doing wrong there? Yeah, so like some of the nose is like this you don't want to do, but you can do this. Like that's okay.
Kind of connect the top but leave the bottom a little bit more floaty.
And like one of the reasons I think that works better is because your top lip, the way light hits it, it creates more of a shadow than your bottom lip does. So that hard line kind of you get away with more because it's like kind of where the shadow
is going.
But that's a little bit. That's for now. Just know that it looks a little bit weirder when you like connect these two, and it looks immensely better
when you kind of leave it open. So that's kind of a mouth. Is that a version of a mouth?
Yeah, that's great.
It's not too bad.
And I would just, this line, like, it's never really perfectly straight like that. Like, if, just to perfect yours a little bit, I would just do a little dip in it. And just make that M a little bit more.
A little bit. I see, yeah.
It's just a little softer looking, a little less stale and stagnant.
Let's see, let's do one with a little bit more of this M shape in the middle.
Some of you guys were posting your D&D characters, which were awesome.
Oh,
like,
man.
you definitely do not have to draw the exact character we're drawing on this show if you don't want to. But I thought we might take a moment, since we're on mouths, to go over, like, beards. Because there's a lot of burly dudes.
Yes.
And I think we have this tendency when you're learning to, I should bring up Grog. He's a mess, but let's do it.
Well, when you know he's a mess.
He's a mess.
He's a mess.
But also my drawing. I think you have a tendency to want to do a bunch of individual hairs, and you should really think about hair as more of pieces,
Chunks.
big chunks, pieces. Here he is, so handsome. So I'll kind of go over ways to draw a beard.
How's that? That's kind of like a thinner lip?
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Should I bring this line
you
down a bit
You
more?
could still keep this top and bottom exactly how you did it if you like that more.
Okay, yeah, kind of do.
Like
This is
that
fun.
top lip is, yeah.
It's fun just kind of drawing, like, seeing
No
what kind of
pressure.
mouths come out.
Yeah, practice these, and styles a little bit like ahead right now, but but when I was figuring out my style, I just drew a bunch of eyeballs and a bunch of lips, and I kind of and noses, and I kind of was like, what do I like out of this pile I drew?
Yeah,
and then
you
you kind of
found
just pick and choose.
You're like,
yeah.
this feels like me.
Or even like mimicked other manga artists and like illustrators that I loved a lot, and drew them, and then like tried to match them together, and then made my own style out of it eventually.
Yeah.
I think right now it's like okay for you guys to kind of take inspiration from other stuff, but eventually down the line you're gonna want to adjust that. But that's like so way down the line, like, and if you are scared to pose because maybe a lot of your drawings are going to start looking like you draw like Babstar because you're watching the show, just be like, I'm watching Pub Draw with Babstar, like, this is my art, it's inspired, and da-da-da,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, no one will give you shit because you like are being like, hey, up front.
And you're awesome. You're doing this because you want to inspire more people to do that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, by the way. I don't know if I've told you this, but you meet a few of those artists who are like,
Yeah,
no, they're protective.
But I
and
see, like, only Babstar can be Babstar.
And exactly.
So, like, you guys can try really hard, but...
Yeah, but you're... It's true, though.
Any artist should feel that way,
Yeah.
though. Like, only you can do you, and if somebody else is trying to be you, they're gonna get... But in this day and age, they're gonna get called out.
Yeah.
So, like, the crowd, the people kind of police themselves.
The system.
Yeah.
For sure. No, it's cool. It's cool that you do that, isn't it?
Okay. All right, beards. So I've got Grog here. As you can see, he's got one bottom lip showing. I don't know if you guys can see very much. Yeah, you kind of can. I just have one bottom lip, and then I have the hair kind of growing over his top lip. And
oh yeah.
it's just chunks. So like, here it is, kind of creeping up his cheek because I kind of want him having a grin. And if you move the top beard lip like you would the line of the mouth,
it's gonna go with it.
Yeah, so like underneath this, I kind of picture him doing this grin. But you wouldn't see that because I'm just gonna draw the beard doing that shape.
Do you recommend people to kind of start with the mouth shape?
Yeah, if it helps you, sketch that mouth shape underneath, and then harder lines draw the beard. So then I do these little, like, I don't know, big chunky whisker shapes, kind of. And that kind of like mimics some beard feeling stuff. And then beards again are like beards again are like they have come in many shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
I can go over. No two beards are alike. So like this one for Grog, I chose to have this little like soul patch number, and then these empty spots here. And like you can look up beards on the internet.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was dating this guy, and it was like so perfectly filled in. It looked so wild. And so he like even shaved these parts right here to make it look a little bit more natural.
Interesting.
So I left those out for him, R.I.P.
I love all the boys out there that get a little red in their beard.
Oh, it's so cute.
So cute. My Matt has that.
Secret.
So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we'll see it soon.
I know. It's funny because he's getting a little that gray.
Oh,
too.
so it wasn't there last time, maybe.
Yeah.
Is he feeling his mortality?
My baby's getting old.
Okay. So cute. So I'll do, maybe he'll have these huge handlebars. You'll kind of have to decide what your dude. So I'll kind of do these in front, and then again, like, since this is hair, you can kind of have hairier lines around here, guys.
You can allow the hairy lines.
A little bit hairier lines. So I'm doing these like, if you layer these like this, it kind of mimics hair, like a short.
Yeah.
And then you can add these little dashes, and it can kind of add to that. But I'm teaching you guys a very shorthand for beards.
So, because I keep kind of drawing these mouths, and I feel like all my mouths kind of become naturally feminine in shape.
Yeah, boy mouth.
Yeah, how, like, what's the...
Right, so, I think just less defined lips.
Just a little
automatically are a little more. Or, like, unless they're, like, very sexy, then give them the lady lips. You know what I mean? Like, boys...
Those pillow cushion lips.
Yeah, I would maybe drop this middle line. And this is a shorthand. This is my shorthand, and you guys can totally use it. I think it's good. And then a smaller top lip usually is good for boys, and maybe down here. Or maybe, like, no top lip at all. Or maybe no bottom lip.
Interesting.
No, definitely you need the bottom lip. No top lip. But you kind of, just like maybe a little less defined.
Yeah.
You know,
And
boys are just like...
A little, yeah.
Only the line in the middle and not like these big pillowy numbers.
Right.
Unless they have them, go to town.
Yeah.
But
there's nothing wrong with your lip injections.
Nothing wrong with it. Also, if your character has maybe stubble, and you're drawing the jaw, you can like break it up with these little zigzags. And it kind of adds this illusion of like,
Yeah.
add the zigzags and then these like cross lines. And it kind of adds this like Dirty Harry Caleb number going on.
Right.
Caleb would never smile. What am I doing? My default characters are very happy, so there's gonna be a lot of like
never smile.
He would never smile.
So let's see. I'm gonna kind of go. So it's interesting you say that because Matt, my Matt. Speaking of guys with
Scruff.
scruff, and he's got thin lips. But he does kind of have these like. He's got little pointy arches.
Oh, like
see.
this Cupid's bow situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like.
That might be more of like a shading, like a
shading
shading
thing.
situation.
Because that does not look good, does it? That looks.
It doesn't look bad. Oh, I see what you're saying. That middle bit. Yeah, that's just a lip shape, and you can like practice it.
Okay. I see what you're laying down. Let me see here. Let me start over.
I'm gonna put.
Like you said, I think less defined.
I know this isn't as exciting as having a whole face by the end of this episode, but I think this is super necessary.
I'm pretty stoked.
I was going to bring
I hope
up
you.
something.
I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I'm
fully
looking.
so.
We've got chat. Tell me.
Good.
So I hope you love it.
What else did I see? I think that's pretty good. I think doing. Oh yeah, maybe your beard has a braid in it. I thought I was gonna go over a real quick mini braid tutorial.
Oh, braid's good.
That's
change
kind
my
of
history.
a little bit more masculine. I might have given him
Yeah.
a little bit pillowy of a bottom lip.
I think make this middle line longer and it'll thin out those other
the bottom
lips.
ones. Okay.
Yeah, if you make that middle line long.
Marisha's so like,
Like that.
she's like, ooh.
Thin out that one.
And I'm like,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can just like lower them, but this is less work to.
I'm like so willing to let
longer.
Mine also.
ends
I see mine are getting very
here go
pointy, and you
super
can
far out.
do good at
Yeah, I
This
think
point
that's fine.
kinda-
Like,
valley here.
I mean, it's up
See.
to you if you like the pointy. Like again, lips come in all shapes and sizes, so like. And definitely always a good rule of thumb is to make that middle line longer than the top and the bottom line. Like you're kind of making them flush.
Yeah.
Well, this
Just
one,
kinda-
no, you didn't do it here. But
Well,
yeah, like
this was the one you just told me to.
your first one, definitely like they're flush, but I think it looks more natural because like your lips kind of come out and then they kind of like blend in with your face.
Right.
And so they flatten out. So like around here is when that starts to happen. So that's why you don't draw that all the way over unless they're really pillowy all the way to the edge. Again, it's up
Unless
to
you have
you.
Mick Jagger lips.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. My lines are getting a little hairy.
That's okay. We're just
Right.
practicing. I think let's unless you have any more questions.
I didn't get to any beard stuff, but.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were doing braid.
Yeah, I'll show a quick braid just in case your character has a braid or something. So really
Yes,
good,
please. I do a lot of braids.
easy-ish way to do a braid is to start out with this like kind of flattened out C shape, and you want it to be kind of bigger toward the top and longer toward the bottom, and
Oh.
kind of keep repeating that.
I see what you're doing.
And then, oh my god, I'm overthinking this too much. Wait. And then you want to do it on the other side. And then you want to just take that down to the middle. And you kind of got like a braid situation going.
Not
tie
to
it
me.
off and maybe do a cute chunky bottom.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
And you can make this bigger or smaller depending on how big they are in the person's like hair or beard.
Mine are a little heart shaped. Like I can
that's
see
fine,
yours
yeah.
is, and then it's like making.
I think you want to crisscross them more. So like, use it on your screen. I'll do it over, no, I'll do it over here. You kind of want to, because braids kind of go past
Into
each other.
I see.
So you want to like, yeah, just like overlap them a little bit more.
Okay. Let's start with a new braid. New braid,
like,
move down.
You guys can like look up braid illustrations or even real braids and like draw them. But again, you kind of want to focus on drawing their shape and not like individual hairs, because you'll just die. You'll just die if you try to do it. And then, you know, if you're smaller on the canvas, you could probably get away with just doing even smaller, simpler shapes and not getting as detailed. And then if they're
Like that in particular looks like a bunch of little hearts kind of stacked on each other.
Yeah, I love that.
Interwoven hearts.
I love you're associating it with other shapes. Right? I'm like, I don't think like that anymore because it's so ingrained.
Right.
But that's really good language for the average Joe. Yeah, and if it's coming from someplace at the top, you can just do, that is when you can maybe do a few individual hairs like coming into the braid. But that's if it's like maybe on the smaller side. You know, where it starts or whatever. Man, the poster for the Grog one shot, the live show that you guys just did.
Oh yes, that Hugo
Yes.
did the art for.
Might be my favorite Grog drawing.
It's
in the,
so
like,
good,
of
where
all
he's
time.
pulling the card.
Yeah,
Yes,
he just
so
looks
good.
so like dumb and innocent and curious
And,
and like it also
got, like,
ominous with the red light on it and stuff. Look up that drawing or somebody posted it or something because it's so good. But they gave him this cool big ring in his beard. I don't know if that's canon or not.
Oh yeah, the kind of cool Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool.
But he has this like big like ring in his beard and it looks like so fun. And these are like little details you can add to your character eventually. But yeah, these are like, this is great for
Awesome.
starting out with drawing your character. So do not worry about doing 1 million individual hairs. Or if you're like, well, their hair is dark, I want to fill it in, you know, take your pencil and hold it slightly to the side and lightly brush it across. I can't do it because it's digital, but I'll just do this instead. And it'll kind of do that
Shade it a bit.
shaded color for you. And then if you want to do more textured beard, you can, like, I had
Does that kind of look like a braid? It
yeah,
curves.
that's great. That's less so, but these two are great.
Yeah. This starts to look a little like a booty.
Like a butt, yeah. That's a sweet peach. A big juicy butt. But good to know you already have that down. We can skip that one.
The booty lesson?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the booty lesson. I think producer Max is terrified for the booty lesson. Don't want to get in trouble on Twitch.
Listen. Lots of thongs, just drawing little thongs everywhere. So like these lines like this kind of can help and kind of add a little texture. And you can just feel it out and try to, again, with your own critical eye, be like, does that work? Like, I kind of hate it, so I'm going to get rid of it. But it might work on your drawing more better.
Yeah.
So just see how you feel. What else? Eyeballs. Let's go through eyeballs real quick. So eyes, I think I saw a lot of people struggling with, which is one of the reasons. Lips, eyes, nose is one of the reasons I wanted to like go over these real quick. So we've got a circle, so maybe just start out with like, do new sheet.
New sheet.
Yeah.
New sheet.
Oh,
Okay.
I wanted to,
Flip this one over.
I did a tool of, I should go over the tools that
Yes, the tools that we're
I went through all
using.
the tools,
We went through them a little bit last week.
like slothily, like on the camera.
Yeah,
poor
very
cameraman.
quickly. Of course, the mechanical pencil.
Here we go. So I brought up my favorites and the ones that I bought for Marisha. And I'll post this to my Twitter, or Critical Role will post it. I'm not sure which, but I'll definitely post it to my Twitter.
We'll do both.
At Babs Draws. And this is what I bought Marisha. And this paper, actually I didn't get for you yet, but once we're doing more finished pieces, we'll use this. But it's awesome. It takes marker and pen and pencil. I've been drawing on it since I was in college. It's like my favorite. You guys can get any sort of sketchbook. It's not really, to me, it's more how you feel about drawing on that particular paper, because sketchbooks come in all shapes and sizes. I like this size because it fits in most of my purses. And I like these ring ones because the book ones are pinched in the middle, and when you try to draw toward the middle, it curves, and it's hard to get them to lay flat. And I don't fill them up fast enough, so the binding starts to fall apart on me.
Right.
So
Right.
I like these.
Work it.
These ring ones you can lay flat like this. You don't have that problem. And these ones, they're in every art store. It has this like perforated edge, so if you do like your drawing, you can
Pop it out.
gently pop it out and just take off this. So I love these.
Awesome.
And the paper is like relatively smoothish, and it's good to sketch on, and it's like in between being like super thick and super thin.
And not too textured, because
Yeah.
you see a lot of sketchbooks that have like kind of crazy texture.
Yeah, I would say avoid that if I were you guys. Like, you don't need that, and I think you're gonna be fighting it a lot at this point. I think that's really great for if you have some specific media in mind that you want to work with that.
Right.
And a lot of those texture ones are watercolor.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like that's a watercolor.
And a lot of the sketchbooks will say on the front of them, like it'll describe. It'll be like marker. Yeah.
Right.
I'll do it over my camera. So, see, that literally says marker on it. But I like to sketch on marker ones, too, because they're usually very buttery and smooth. So,
Yeah, for sure.
I grabbed those for us to try out eventually.
So many toys.
Ring sketchbook. This brush pen is like one of my favorites. It doesn't say, it says this in Japanese, but this is what it looks like. And the tip is amazing and super small, and I love them. So try one of these out. Oh, oh, oh.
Chasing the camera.
Guys! Okay, great. So it's black, and then it's tan, and then it has this a red Japanese lettering and green on it, and it's called Kuretake Emoji Brush Pen. And in the packaging, it's light blue. That's the smallest tip, and that's my favorite one to use because I work relatively tight. Yeah. Photo blue pencil. These are amazing. We went over these. Any brand, whatever, they're great. It's good to sketch with. And I don't know if you'll see us do it so much because of the camera here, but sketching in that photo blue is great because it can only get so dark, and then using your pencil, tighter pencil work and ink on top of it, it saves you a lot of headache of trying to erase your pencil work.
Erase? Does the photo blue erase?
It erases kind of.
Okay.
It's a little waxy depending on the brand, so like it might not erase perfectly, but it erases perfectly when you scan it.
Right.
Yeah, which I'll show you guys eventually. Tombow, mono pencils, 2B and 6B. You can pick, like, 2B and 6B just is hard to soft. Those are kind of the extremes. And there's all the ones in the middle. So when you guys are in the art store, like, try all the 2s and the B's and the HB's out and see what works for you. And
do they tend to have little testers and stuff?
Yeah, they usually have little strips of paper on the shelves you can try, like artisan craftsman supplies, like one of my favorites, and those are around everywhere, and they kind of vary depending on how good they are, depending on who's running that individual one. But I really like, they have all the supplies that I usually buy. Like Michael's is harder because that's more of a craft store and not a art store.
Right.
But maybe go support your small local one.
Yeah.
And they can all order this stuff if you guys really like it. And then the really tiny Tombow. This is that tiny eraser that you like loved a whole lot.
Yes, because you can get it. So when I was working at home, and I was working on just computer paper with a mechanical pencil.
Yeah.
Because that's all I have at home. We leave all the art supplies here.
Any paper, any pencil.
Yes, yeah. The tight little erasers are what I ended up missing the most.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was just using this.
Once you taste it, once you get it, it's hard.
Because I'd be like, I just want to get rid of that little. But no, there goes half my eyeball.
It's like all my hard work.
Go back. So yeah, I think this is what I miss the most. So everything
star next to the eraser, and so those are in the drawing section, and usually on the shelves in a packaging on the shelf.
Cool.
And what else? That one, and then this big chunky one for big spaces. So I wrote the Tombow one on here. This one's a different brand, but the Tombow one's kind of my favorite, and this is all the art store had. But the white square, like it's the same. It's whatever. But I really like Tombow, so
yeah.
Sponsor us too, Tombow.
Just racking them up.
Just rack it up. Rack the sponsors. All this is nice, but not necessary. So you guys, you do not need this. It's just like sugar on top. If you can get them, that's great. It's gonna be fun to play with, but any pencil, any paper will also, like during this learning stage,
will be fine.
And like if we get to doing more finished stuff, that's when I might bump up or maybe be a little more insistent that you guys try some of these better products, like more professional products. But like this pin is my favorite. This is like $2.50, like on jetpens.com or something.
Right. Because I know I've seen some of those pens can get expensive.
They can get expensive, but
you don't need
none of it. I don't think anything on this list is over like
a couple bucks,
maybe $2 to $5.
Okay.
And if it is, I'm sorry, and like I'll definitely hunt down a cheaper thing because that's crazy. Yeah. So definitely, and if you find something on the internet where that says it's more than that, like go look someplace else because those guys are being shisty.
Awesome.
So yes, screen cap that. We'll post it later. But there you go. Those are my favorite tools. And then once we get into different inking and like all that other stuff, I'll introduce some more good ones to you guys.
Okay, back to eyeballs.
Eyeballs. We're gonna
put my oh, here it is. Right? Is this my mechanical? No. Where did I put my mechanical
Why
pencil?
don't you draw a bunch of circles in the blue one? See if it'll show up on your. I don't know if we're gonna have a camera on yours, but I'm making yours to draw in the blue for the eyeballs, the circles, because that bit is not gonna be what shows through. We're just like using it as a guide. So I'll do blue too, and we'll be twins.
That shows up pretty good, right, guys? Kind of. It's light, but you get the idea.
But we're gonna go over in pencil. Like I'm just like. We'll do this one.
I'm gonna get a few circles started.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna break down kind of the general eyeball anatomy so that when you guys are drawing your eyeballs at home, you kind of have this as a guide to be like, okay, it connects here. The iris acts like this, like da 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 da.
Gotta say, feeling pretty proud about these circles.
I love it.
These solid circles.
Those are very solid circles.
Thank you. I know.
I'm so impressed. All right.
My circle skills.
Circle skills.
Getting pretty good.
I'm telling you, if you can draw circles and squares and sticks, you can stretch those out to cylinders and spheres, you're going to be fine. So So your eyeball is made up, it's got the colored part, Jesus, I do not know the official words, but the colored part of the eyeball.
The iris?
The iris.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this one turned. So when it turns more into an oval.
Okay.
So this is one straight on. So horrifying. And then your pupil is in here. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but that pupil's not sitting on the surface of this iris. It kind of goes in. So like if it was turned like this, it would not be in the middle of the circle. It kind of dips down over here.
Oh, wow.
Because it goes in like this. If that makes sense.
No, it totally does.
And then there's like a shine or whatever.
So I noticed for sideways eyeball,
Yeah.
you're getting pretty close to your edge. Should I go closer with mine?
No. I mean, if that person looked more to the side, that's what I would do.
Got
So
ya.
like if you were all the way profile style, it would be to the very edge.
So I would just kind of want to compensate this and make it a wider circle?
You literally
Almost be
can't
that.
do anything wrong right now because the rest of the head isn't connected and it can be looking anywhere you want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just like breaking this down. I think it's good to have this in mind when you start drawing. Pub drawing.
Pub draw. Hashtag pub draw.
Let's see. And then if it's looking like
hashtag.
up or down, it would be more like.
Oh, this one's like super sideways. I see.
Yeah,
I see.
This one would literally be.
I hope people are okay with our moments of silence.
I hope so too, because that's what they're getting right now.
Don't feel like we have to talk all the time.
This is what most art streams on Twitch turn into, though. It's a little bit silent, and then the chat kind of blows up, and then you like. I have a friend who, my roommate, John. You like met him. He also DJs my streams.
Love John. Does he really?
Yeah,
That's
which
so
is
cool.
helps with the entertaining of them because I usually get a little bit silent and concentrating. So like that would be nice, totally that way.
Totally to the side.
And then this one would be straightforward. And then this one's kind of looking quarter, 3/4.
So do you recommend people who are just starting to kind of
Practice this?
and go from the inside out like this? Because, yeah.
I think so. I think it just helps you figure it out to know like basic eye anatomy, and then we're gonna develop a shorthand. Like I'm teaching you guys.
Oh, it broke. Okay. Well, I think I'm too drunk to keep trying to draw eyes. So, I deeply appreciate anybody who fucking watched this disaster of a streamish thing. And I swear to God, I'll do better next